So we are welcome to tonight's session where we'll be talking about data validation. Last night we stopped at missing data, feeling missing data, and one of us asked a question when we're about closing, and I think it's an important question which I want to address before we join the topic for tonight, which is data validation. So he was saying, what if we have a table? Well, the table we used for our example last night, in terms of missing data, they contains only numbers, figures. It was asking if we have a combination of numbers and letters or things like that, where we have things mixed up and we have missing data. So how do we do that? So that is what I want us to quickly look at before we jump into the data validation. So let's look at that and quickly jump into who asked this question last night. Yeah, I know it's not Ephraim. Can we remember who asked this question last night?
Is Ernest.
Is
Okay.
not here. It's
Ernest. Okay, Ernest. Is then Ernest asked that question. Anyway, we're not going to wait for him because we don't know why he's not here. We don't know how long it's going to take him to join. But the main thing is that we've addressed it and he's going to watch it on video. So okay. In our data, missing data, this is the table we used for demonstration last night. You see in this table, the missing data is within the table. We have only missing data in figures or in numbers. So we do not have other column that contains letters that contain missing data. So we want to see, because we use one command or one syntax to fill in this table with a value 0. So if we use that, it might not work in a table like this. And even if it works, it doesn't give us any meaning. In a table like this, it might not give us a good meaning if we use the same method to fill in this table. You can see in this table, we have department, we have salary, we have bonus. This is employee payment table. So we have bonus and we have region. And we can see in salary and bonus, which is figures, we have some missing data here. So if you look at region as well, in region, you see we have missing data as well. If we go for analysis, if we want to analyze this, it's going to be difficult. But if we want to use value 0 to fill in this data, is going to be difficult to still analyze, because in this region, we are going to be filling the region with 0 as well. And I don't think it's the best practice. It doesn't make a good analysis. It's not going to make a good analysis when region we're capturing missing data or some spaces about region with 0. We want to use a term to represent that, not figure. How do we do that? This is the equation raised by one of us last night, which I think is a clever question. So, so what we are going to do, let's talk about what we are going to do before we start doing it. What we are going to do is that we are going to fill the table twice. First, we have to fill the region with value, and secondly, we fill the salary and bonus that contains, because it contains different variables. This is letter and this is figure. So we do them differently, and that will solve the problem. Very simple. Okay. Okay. What we say here is the first thing to do is to fill in the region first, because they contain different type of values. These columns, they console. Let's treat them differently. And here we'll highlight this and then fill this with a different value. So we said we can use Control H, or we can come to edit here, and you come down here, you say find and replace. Use this find and replace. You see it here is Control H. So whichever one we use, bring us home. We click on it, and you bring us to this download tab. This is what we are doing yesterday. And we'll have the syntax we put here, and the syntax is V and have X or S, and that is what we have. And then in this replace, let's use a value unknown. We can use not applicable, we can use, but let's use unknown because it's not known. Instead of putting 0, say unknown. And after then, let's select this search using regular expression. That's what we're going to select. and then we click on this replace all. And to find out all these will be replaced, so let's hit this button and say okay. And if you see this table here now, you see there is no, under the region, we can see that is, instead of blank cells, we have unknown. These are some of the regions we do not know. So it's better than we are putting zeros here. So during the analysis, in a pivot table, you can see what happened. You can use unknown. When you're talking about a region, you can say within the unknown region, how many people's salary or bonus or within the unknown. That makes more sense. So then we have other missing values. Here we can equally replace. We say because salary and bonus, they have similar, so we can select them together, and with this we use control H, which is find and replace, and we use the same syntax, and the syntax is S and dollar value, and then we replace with 0. We say start using regular expression, and we say replace all, and we say done, and you see here is replace. So we can see with this method we've solved this problem. Even if we have a mixed data sets, we can still handle it within a short period of time. So we select, we group it together and handle it differently. And it's better than replacing here with 0. So you see it's much more better table for analysis. Okay. Think this is sorted. So let's move to data validation. Do we still have do we have anything to add? Is NS? NS is not here. So that is for me. We're done with this. So if we don't have any question on this, so let's move to data validation. And in data validation, so that's how to mix to handle data sets with letters and numbers and missing data. So come to data validation. What is data validation? Data validation ensures that the data entered into a cell meets specific criteria. It helps maintain data quality by preventing invalid data from being entered into the table. So, all this missing data, It's not because somebody deleted some data. We have missing data right from when we are capturing the data. During the data capture, that is when such incidents happen. Some can enter reckless entry of data because the data is not validated, it's not secured from the beginning. So people can just enter anything they want into the table or into the data set, and it will form our data sets. And they start causing problems, taking time for us to clean up our data before we start analyzing. But when a data is validated, we set rules about what comes into the data set from day one. This will help to improve the quality of data we capture, making sure that every data we capture must meet the acceptance criteria for that table or data set. So now, say for instance, we've created this table. We want to, this is employee table. And in this employee table, we want to understand the age brackets. We want to understand their age. We want to understand their departments. And we want to understand their work experience. So if this table is not validated, if we send these to maybe employees to fill in this table, you find out that some people will just miss this age range. Some people, they don't want to disclose their age. They will just say, why are these people? What are they? What do they want to do with my age? And while filling this, they will just tell you their department and their years of experience. And you find out that here we've started having missing data here. And if you go to the record, you see that John Doe has submitted, is among the people that are submitted. So even if there is anything, he cannot be punished or whatever, he's submitted the, so. And some people will see, anyway, I'm here already. What are they? Why are they interested in my years of experience? They will say, more especially those that doesn't have many years of experience, they can say, instead of lying about their years of experience, or some people lying about their age, they leave it vacant. And we'll see we've started having, inconsistency, we'll have missing data, and it's not going to come up to the kind of data we want. And even if we have this table filled up, of course, like you see what we did in the last table where we use unknown. Unknown is not a good data. It still means that something is missing. There's some values we do not know, we can't account for. But we just fill it up so that we'll be able to at least analyze the data. So to make sure we don't have all these poor quality data in this table or data sets, we do use validation. So the first thing we are going to do is to validate the age column, making sure that if you don't enter your age, you cannot fill this form. And we'll see, if you don't fill this form, you are not receiving your salary. You see? Then everybody will be prompted to do the right thing. So let's take this table to the spreadsheet. So what do we plan to validate here? This is the age. The age. We want to validate all this so that if you don't fill in this, the right age, you are not going to be accepted. And let's look at the tables, how all the age. Here we have the age should be restricted within between 18 and 65. So we want to restrict the age to be between 18 to 65. So that's it. Or in a situation where
I'm not serious.
no man, please can you mute yourself?
Sorry, sir.
Okay. So please can you mute yourself? Okay. So now say the age range is between 18 to 65. So what we do, we select this cell within this age column, and then we go to data validation, and from the validation, we create a set of rule. This is the rule we create, and when after creating this rule, is going to ensure that any figure or we capture is going to be between this age range. And if you add anything that is not within this age range, it can create a pop-up or bring error message to you. It's not going to take it, and it's going to tell you why it's not taking it. And you then have to do the right thing. So let's go to our table and see. So we'll go to data, is data, and we'll go down to data validation. And we'll click on data validation. You see here on data validation window, the data validation will open a window for us to create a rule. So we have to create a rule. It's called logic on. So we are validating the data we want to collect. So now you see is between B2 and B6. That is column. So this is B. Here is this column that is B2 to B6. And then we come over here. We need to create a custom code, a custom logic or rule. So we have to go down and here. So now we have to add the custom code where the formula here, and this is the formula here. So it's between B, that is 18 and 65. That is what the code means. It's restricting anything that will happen within this highlighted area to be between 18 and 65. So come over here. We've created a code. And then we want a situation where if such a thing happen, we're going to send an error message. So create here and let's pick this error message. So when somebody type anything outside that, the person is going to receive this error and it's going to tell the person, please enter number between this to this. And that is it here. So, and it's going to reject, want it to reject the input. If we leave it show warning, it's going to show warning. It's not going to accept, but it's going to show red warning here. But we want it to reject it with a custom with this error message. So we put reject the input and we're going to show this and then we say done. So now we've validated this table. So let's see how it's going to work now. This table is validated. If you are just seeing this table, you will not know that anything is just think it's an ordinary table, but it's not, more especially this column. Okay. Let me put 6 and C. So you can see that I put 6 and you can see there was a problem. Please enter a number between 18 to 65. So, okay, let's put 70. 70. See, I hope you guys are seeing the error message.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can see it cannot enter, but let's put 20. 20, you see it's going, we say 40, it's going, we say 65, it's going, we say, so all these other numbers are going. Then let's say 90, and it's not taking it. So that is how we've protected this table with this validation. So that is number one. In data validation, we can see how we've done this, and it's going to help us to capture quality data and going to remove this work of trying to fill in the table. We try to determine the kind of information we're getting or data we're getting from the beginning. So that is the number one. Then we'll go to the number two. Okay. Then number 2 is creating a drop-down list. A drop-down list. So it means that we have to select from a drop-down. Let's move this drop-down list to the spreadsheet. So come here to this F column and we drop this. This is the department. So we don't want any department outside of this department. So anybody who wants to fill departments, if you feel, you can see here we have sales, marketing, HR, and IT. We don't want finance and account. We don't want any other thing outside this. So that is the way we are going to do this validation here. Okay. So that is how we're going to do that. The first thing we're going to do is to, now we've created a table where we want to be selected. This table is going to be a kind of drop down on each of these cells. So they'll highlight the area we want to create this drop down. We go to validation and we use this drop down from a range, and then we source for this table, and that is it. Okay. This is what we want to do here. One department. We first highlight on this, and then go to data, and then we go to data validation, and then we create a rule. And then this is the criteria. It's from this criteria that we're going to, you see, this is the C3, C2 to C6, which is, this is C3 to C2 to C6. And then here we select the criteria, and the criteria is going to be drop down. We want to create a drop down table so that they can select from a drop down. It's not going to, if we use normal drop down, then means we're going to do it manually. We're going to capture this manually. So, but we already have a data set here where we want them to select from. So here we can drop this in anywhere in part of this table. That might be it. So we create drop down from a range. So this is the range. So this is from here. So where do we get that range? We see here, you see this table here. If you click on here, it's going to browse this table. Should be able to browse this table and select this. So that is what we're going to do. We click on this, and you see select from a range, and we come over here and we select this, selected this, and We click OK. We click OK. And then you see, now we've clicked OK. You see that he has selected this table here for us. So this is a data set where we are selecting from. Alternatively, if we don't have this table, we can equally come here and create this drop down on our own manually, or to have the here, so we'll select from this table, and then we click done. So that's it. So let's go to this table to see actually if we can select from there. So John Doe, you click here, you can see there is this. So we can only select from what we'll go here. See John Doe, sales, Ali Smith, Bob Johnson, HR, Carol Evans, IT, David Brown, and say IT as well. So we see that is how we validated this table. You won't even have the opportunity to come and type in finance because it's not within the drop-down list we have here. So this is another way of validation. We've done this, we validated this. So we'll see these two columns. We validated the first column, validated the second column. So that is how we can continue to do this. And the next can equally do this as well. This is experience. Let's look at the requirement for this experience here. And if we want to remove this, we click on here, we can remove it. And if we want to add more rules, like we have this one, you can come here, add more rules. And yeah, okay. Let's remove, and we can then add more rules or everything together. But let's just getting it one done after the other. So and okay. So the next demo is going to be on this. We are going to apply the same formula we apply for the age validation table, age validation column. So we come over to the last one here. The last one is, yeah, is to create alert. So we capture this within the first one, even the alert, we captured everything together. But let's do it again on this table. So we already have the table. So we are going to highlight the experience. And the experience we are looking at is between the age of 0 to 40 years of experience. So we want to understand how experienced these employees are, so, and it has to be within this range. We don't want any experience outside 40, maybe 41 or no, we don't want that. We want within this range. So let's go back and do this validation, just like what we did before. We highlight the column where we want to validate. Then we go to data validation, and then create a dialog where we select from a range, a custom value, not a range, sorry. We select from a custom. And so, okay. Sorry about the noise from background. Okay. We've had a table already, and what we are talking about is between 0 to 40. Okay. There's it. And we go to data, and we go to validation. And as usual, we come over here, we create the rule. From drop down, select criteria, and if you guys remember at the beginning, we use if. So, well, you can see how this if we're using it here in creating rules in data validation. So all these are very, very important. So create a set of rules, and we put our formula here between the age of, age of 0 to 40. That is the experience level we are looking at. So, and that is it here between the age of 0 to 40. And now we have to show the error message. The error message we want here is invalid experience. We want to show, that is the error message you want to show when somebody puts 50 years. Copy it, come here, and we say if somebody enter 50 years, tell them no. Okay. And you have to reject the value, and you say done. That is it. Well, we've done, we've created our logic, or we can call it logic, or can call it a code, can call it rule. And that's it here. And let's say, let's add 50 years. And you see, here you see it. So you say here is invalid experience. Please enter an experience between 0 to 40 years. So let's add 0. 0 is gone. Let's add 8. It's gone. Let's add 40. It's gone in. Let's add 2. It's gone in. And let's add 41. No, it's not taking it. And that's how we've managed to secure this our table for any kind of, don't want anyhow data here, want to very, so that is, and by the time we validated all these columns, so we can create different rules for different tables. So we can go ahead and create different rules, different tables and things like that. And yeah. So that is this. So okay, let's see if add another rule here for this. Another rule for this. And formula is the formula 65 to 18 to 65. And then error message. And then and done. Okay, you can see here we have two rules here. Okay, this one is 0 to 40. Let's add 80. No. This one is 18 to 16. Let's add 1. Nope. And then we can create another rule for this department. So before we do that, if we want to create this, we can validate this manually, but we don't want that. But let's do manual validation and let's see how is going to work. You know, I'm not bringing in table here, but let's just do see. And we have to add the data here. And then it is already here. So let's select. So now from drop down, well, I want us to create it manually. We say sales. Then we say marketing. Then add another one. We say HR, and then we say IT, and we say okay. Yeah. So you see, we imputed it manually. But if we want, we can bring the table where they can select from. So that is it. We have validated this table here, and that's it. So this table is validated. You cannot just type in anything in this table. You must be what this table wants, and that's it. And that's how we want to decide the quality of data we want to capture on this table. So these are the third way we can affect the quality data in terms of data cleaning. Cleaning data, we can clean data manually. A data that is already dirty, we can clean by deleting, we can clean by inserting or filling the values with values. We can equally clean by using data validation. So that is it for tonight. So
Thank you very much.
if you got any question, and yeah, you don't have the next thing we've seen the basic foundation of formatting things, and now we've seen how we can clean table. Then now our data is clean. All these are just trying to get to where we can start analyzing. That is not then we then have to start analyzing. So meaning that the table is clean. After cleaning, the data set is now ready for analysis. From then, so the next thing is going to be data analysis. We'll have to start analyzing our data in Excel or spreadsheets using Excel. So, analyzing our data using Excel, using pivot tables. I want to say pivot tables. So we're going to be creating pivot tables and things like so. That is going to be the top topic for next week. And once we've done with pivot table, I think you can then call yourself a data analyst, a junior data analyst, because from my experience, the most difficult area in data analysis is this Excel. This area is the most difficult. This is where so many data analysts have seen. It's not even if you're talking about using Power BI, these are very easy because these are the areas most people that are very scared. So if you can capture these basic, some of us will see it as basic, but so many data analysts, they lack this foundation. And this is the foundation so many of us, look down on. We overlook it so much, is it not Excel? But they find out that this is the basic. You think you can just come and do it. So many start struggling, and I know so many people that really want to join this bootcamp because they want to come and learn these basics in data analysis. They have been using Power BI, but when it comes to these basics, it's difficult for so many of them. So if you capture this, you have laid a good background, a good foundation for yourself as a data analyst. Okay. Like I said, I will be uploading the videos and the lecture notes by tomorrow so that you can start practicing. But you see, data analysis, you have to practice. All this we are doing, you need to do it. It's making sure that we are getting actually what I'm getting. Let's concentrate for now. Let's use, everybody have access to Google Sheet. Let's use it. I promise we're going to come down to Excel after everything to harmonize. I know there's a bit of variation, but it's not much, not what we cannot do. So let's try to follow up what I'm doing. Don't try to use this thing to confuse yourself. We're going to get there. So okay, Mr. Ephraim.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, all.
Mm.
What I have is not a question. It's just a reminder about last week lectures. I think none of them has been uploaded in the data analytics platform.
I've uploaded all of them. Or is it you are struggling to access it? It's there. Anytime I upload it on YouTube, I make sure that it goes to the course portal. So if you cannot access it on the course portal, let me know. It means you're having maybe a glitch or whatever, or maybe you don't know how to access it. And I know you are one of the people that join. Have you been able to access materials and that course portal before?
I've accessed all other materials from A to Z. When
did you check last?
Last was today. Even as I'm talking to you now, I've opened the portal. From that data validation, from data foundation, the three courses are there. Starting from data validation, there is nothing there. That's why I'm watching. I'm there right away.
Okay.
No. You have an introduction to data. You have a Excel for data analysis basics. You have a manipulating data with Excel. That's where it stops. All those ones of last week to this week, they are not here. Starting from module 2, data visualization is empty.
We have not done data visualization.
We've not done data visualization.
I think where we stopped.
So where is it? Those ones of last week.
Okay. Maybe I'll.
Sorry, sir. I think where we stopped last week is a VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. I think that's where we stopped last week, sir.
But I think it is there already.
It's there already now.
VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP.
VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP and conditional formatting is where we stopped last week.
Yes,
I think the ones that are not there are the yesterday on and today's class.
I think, Ephraim, you are so much in a hurry. You're already talking about visualization.
We have not done visualization.
Okay. I think calm down. We're getting there. If you can see this the vertical lookup and the horizontal lookup and what is it, the other one?
Conditional formatting.
conditional formatting,
Mm.
then you are not missing anything. And I'm promising that by tomorrow, the last night and tonight will be uploaded. So
Thank
are
you,
you
sir.
are you getting it, Ephraim?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, guys, and see you when we see again.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
All right, good news.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.